Hello, welcome to English Teacher YouTube channel. Your go-to English learning journey. Beginner. Want to learn English, but don't know where to start? Inside, you will find everything you need to know before you schedule your first English lesson. Beginner. Speaking your native language always feels as natural as possible after all. Learn to speak it long before we can even remember the process. When it comes to learning English or any other foreign language, it can become a real challenge. At the very beginning of your English learning experience, your head might be exploding from the many questions. When to start? Which method to choose? How can I remember so many new words? In today's video, we will help you find answers to all these questions and provide you with a few valuable tips for beginners on how to start learning English on your own. Read on and get to work. Determine your purpose. If you want to succeed at anything, you need motivation. Motivation is both the reason and the energy to learn. And perhaps one of the most challenging things about the language learning process is keeping yourself motivated enough to devote your spare time to study English. To ensure that your motivation will not disappear after the first lesson, you should find your personal reasons to learn English. This, in turn, will help you set realistic goals and milestones for your English learning journey and build your learning plan. Both are necessary for making your learning experience much more effective. The clearer you are about your purpose to learn English, the more manageable and enjoyable the process will be. When deciding why you want to learn English, make sure to choose something that you see in your day-to-day life. This way, you will notice changes faster. Here are the most common reasons why most learners choose English as their second language. Work and career advancements. Decent English language skills can make you a better candidate for your dream job. Also, an English course will come in handy if you work with native English speakers or in a multicultural environment. Education. Your main purpose may be passing an English exam, enrolling in a foreign school in an English-speaking country, or participating in a language exchange program for ESL learners. Access to more information. If your professional occupation requires keeping up with the latest trends and industry designs or gaining in-depth knowledge, strong English skills will allow you to read sources with foreign publications. Hobbies. You can find the motivation to learn English by gaining even more satisfaction from your favorite activities, for example, the ability to read books in their original language or listen to your favorite English songs and understand the lyrics. Traveling. If you speak English, you can feel more comfortable traveling around the world, and communicating with both locals and native speakers. Knowing your reason to learn English is important because even the most interesting English materials can become a mundane, tiresome routine, making it difficult to continue the learning process. Thinking about what benefits are waiting for you and the goals you will be able to achieve with a new language can be the main source of strength and inspiration that will keep you going. Choose your learning method. Next, you need to consider your personal needs, time availability, and budget too. Determine which learning method suits you best. You can either find a language school that offers group lessons, hire a personal tutor, or start learning English on your own. Also, today you can choose to learn English online or offline, whichever is easier for you. Each of these methods of learning the English language has its own pros and cons, which we've already discussed in a previous post. Check it out if you need more information. Here's a summary. Personal tutor versus group lessons versus independently. One of the most significant advantages of learning English with a tutor, whether it's a private or a group lesson, is the instant feedback you receive. You also can get help with pronunciation and English grammar. A private tutor is a more expensive option, but provides you with the teacher's undivided attention. At the same time, group lessons allow you to practice English from the very beginning by participating in basic conversations with fellow English learners. As a result, the best option for learning the English language from a beginner level is having classes with a personal tutor, most preferably a native English speaker. An experienced teacher will be able to explain how the language works, provide you with useful vocabulary, point out the most common mistakes, and help you build a solid foundation for you to start speaking English. However, while taking an English course with a teacher is a proven technique, it's not the only one effective. You can learn English from scratch independently. The vast amount of online resources can help you learn English quickly. But keep in mind that this learning method also takes a great amount of self-discipline and determination to succeed. You will find more tips below. Online versus offline. If you eventually decide to learn English with a tutor, another thing to decide is whether you want to attend in person classes or study online. Online classes are a much more convenient, flexible, and even cost and time efficient option, as you don't need to commute to a class. All you need is a laptop or another mobile device and a stable internet connection. However, the benefits of in-person classes include staying fully attentive towards the learning process and fewer distractions. So, look at your priorities and choose a way to learn English that works well with your everyday life. Tips for studying English on your own. So, you are ready for a new challenge on your own. But how to build a learning routine that helps you focus on new vocabulary, pronunciation, and grammar rules and actually enjoy the process. Here are some of the most valuable tips for learning English independently from scratch in a productive and effective manner. Determine your English level. First things first, you need to know where exactly you stand. Fortunately, there are lots of free online tests for beginners that will help you determine your current English level. You can also find answers on units you've struggled with and figure out where to move next. If your learning level is elementary, you should start from the very beginning and even revise the alphabet. This will ensure that you learn new words with the correct pronunciation right away. Once you get familiar with reading and the most important words, you can move to basic grammar, rules, and sentence structure. Find reliable sources. The next thing you need to do is find a grammar reference book that presents the information in an accessible and interesting way for you. Make sure to choose our post about the best English books for beginners. It contains examples of useful grammar books and great works of fiction. You also can find materials on specific topics on specialized websites, such as videos and podcasts with full transcripts, grammar explanations, and quizzes. When it comes to listening, don't limit yourself to watching movies with English subtitles only. Besides, not all of them are suitable for beginners because they may contain specific accents or specialized vocabulary the plot may require. Instead, start with short films dedicated to a particular topic that contains simple words and phrases applicable to day-to-day life. To develop reading skills, start with adapted literature for beginners, children's books, apps with short stories like Langster, or simple online articles. The biggest drawback of this method is the lack of speaking practice, so whenever you get the opportunity to participate in small talk with a native speaker in your daily life, make sure to use it. Keep in mind that even when studying with a teacher, you cannot avoid independent work. Knowledge can be consolidated only with practical use. Diversifying your learning methods with new materials and different sources of information will allow you to cover each topic, whether it's auxiliary verbs or pronunciation, from various angles, which is essential for learning English fast.